Hey everybody. Routine. Having a routine to me is very important. I like to stick to a basic routine. I think I've mentioned before is I'll go into the gym having an idea of what I kind of want to do. Like usually that involves where I start out. Like if I want to get something done for the day, like deadlifting is kind of what I'm focusing on doing today. So I go in with a mindset of like kind of what I want to hit, either my back or some chest, and I kind of plan that out a little bit, but I like to keep my routine kind of open as well, so that way you're not stuck just doing the same thing over and over again though too. So it's great to be flexible as well, especially if there's a lot of people at the gym and you can't really get to the thing that you thought you were going to get to. So I like to switch up my routine quite often. Maybe they say like every 4 to 6 weeks is what you kind of need to switch your routine to, but I kind of just like go as I feel. So a lot of times like I'll be doing a certain routine, and the thing that I do doesn't really do anything for my muscle to mindset, and I have to basically move on to something different because that thing has basically doesn't do anything for me at that point. So when I switch up my routine, I kind of like to just integrate some new moves, and then I have to like reevaluate the other things that I do and kind of like push those ones out of the way that just don't do anything for me anymore. So it's great to kind of like take it easy though when you do new stuff. So what I've been doing lately is changing things up with how I'm still doing squats, but I've gone way low and I'm taking slower reps. So I try to focus on a lot of the decline is what I'm doing slower, and that kind of just is putting a shock to my nervous system right now, and it's really intense. I'm still getting like a really good pump by doing lower weight as long as I'm taking it slow. So with squatting, I used to do about 45s, and right now I'm doing 25s and just taking each movement really slow to the point that it's shocking, and taking more focus on the form instead of just busting out as many reps as possible. I'm still doing between 10 and 15 reps. Sometimes it'll be less so because I'm going so slow. So switching up your routine is important because it not only sends a shock to your body, but it also helps you focus more on kind of like the form of things. So, you know, you're lowering your weights or heavier weight, either way, you're going to be pushing yourself in a different direction that you're not used to, and it's going to be a shock to your nervous system. Other than that, it's just, it's kind of fun, you know, to switch things up. You don't want to be sticking to the same thing every single day. Otherwise, you're just going to get bored, and it's going to feel more of like, a chore than invigorating and fun and enjoyable. So, I mean, I'm loving the new things I'm doing. Maybe you'll love some of them too. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Time to go to the gym. It's gym time.
Hey everybody, back to squatting. I did recently injure myself somewhat, so I kind of decided to switch things up with my squatting and lower the weight and also do slower reps. So here I'm doing just 25s, and I'm trying to work on just my form and getting it as best as possible at this point. With these, I try to get at least like 10 reps in each set, but there's sometimes that I am going so slow though that it will probably be like sometimes 8 or 9. You would think that this movement would probably be easier because you're doing lighter weight, but it's a rough one. Trust me. I was sweating just as much as usually when I lift heavy weights. Not only am I trying to work on form here by going as low as possible, but I was also trying to work on my breathing technique in these movements, because you're holding it in for a long period of time as you go down slow, and then exhaling slowly too as you come up. I really enjoyed supersetting these with my squats. I think it just gets a really nice, good stretch on your bottom. But also it helps you focus a little bit more on your quads too. So it's kind of like a double whammy. I gotta say, usually when I'm doing deadlifts, I don't really feel too much in my back. It's usually legs. But by slowing things down and changing it up, I could so feel this in my back. Like, as I declined here really slowly, it would just be killer on my back muscles. So it's probably something I'm going to start doing a lot more with my deadlifts. This is actually my first time doing this movement at the station. I have always wanted to try this out. So I did go pretty low in the weights, just 25s here. I could definitely do probably a lot heavier, but you know, I didn't want to push it. I was actually supersetting these with lunges. I really like this movement over usually it's dumbbells that I do straight leg deadlifts with, and I just feel like this is more stable in your body structure. I kind of get like a lot like floppy when I do the dumbbell action. Bicep curls, this is also a new movement. I usually will do this on that machine behind me where it's called a preacher curl. This is kind of the same concept, but when you're doing it like this on the pulley, you get a little bit better leverage with your body. Same thing here, but I did like a closer grip on the stick, and it did kind of make it a little bit more difficult, but it was also like a tighter curl, I feel. This is the row machine, which I've actually been using over the landmine station, because usually I would do rows like this on the landmine station, and this is kind of just like a great alternative to just kind of plop on some weight and get on the machine. I usually superset this with something else, so today I was supersetting this with my bicep curls. This movement I also want to do about like 10 to 15 reps, and I'm trying to go as slow as possible too. This is some new core work I've been doing. I'm trying to get at least about 8 to 10 crunches, and then I'll superset that with some oblique twists, and I'll do about 10 to 15 reps on that one. And that's it for the gym. So thanks for watching. Some days I like to remind myself that I'm pretty lucky to be able to get into the gym every day and do the things that I love to do, which is work out. Not everybody is so lucky, is what I think sometimes. So I think it's a great thing to remind yourself that things could always be worse, but they're not, and you should feel good that you get to do the things that you love every day. I try my best to, not let my personal stuff get in the way of my everyday interaction with other people too. Is, if I'm having a bad day, I don't take that out on other people. I like to just say hi, how's it going, what you been up to, kind of like just acknowledging that you're a person, they're a person, we all are kind of here to better ourselves. Important to not let your bad stuff or your negative stuff bleed into the people that are there for you or around you. So I mean, that's one of my mental struggles, is that I have a lot of stuff going on sometimes in my head, and I don't want any of that to be like reflected onto other people or pull other people down into that. And I usually don't let that get in the way. So, a lot of times when I'm just focused and doing my thing at the gym, that's me just like letting my own mental stuff work out itself and not hurt those that are around me personally. I mean, that's how I deal with my things. I suppose